from killing. You are young. You will live to see the day. And if I don't live to see the day, you better believe it. I'll be there. This is my home, and I'm home to stay.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
Get ready, mama, prepare for your freedom.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
Get ready, mama, prepare for your freedom.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
Yahoo! You will listen to mama. Yahoo! You will listen to mama. Yahoo! You will listen to mama.
Thank you very much. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. This is ABC Amber TV, and we are on to ethics for an emerging nation. And today we'll be having, remember, we first of all, greetings to the Brazilian people and 24 gun salutes to all our people on ground. All our people on home front, and we expect that today, Bamenda Mezam County, with 3 LGAs, will be talking with us on this podium. And before we go ahead to ask the different people that are here to greet themselves, I would just want to crave your indulgence to say, all right, thank you very much. They are here. Let me go ahead and call on Pastor Chinje. Introduce your LGA.
Good evening, our people at the home front.
Pastor Chinje. Just go ahead and introduce your LGA, introduce your yourself, and greet the people of home front, and then we take up from there. Over to you.
Thank you, Pastor Commando. Thank you for having me on this program today, the Ethics for an Emerging Nation. It's such a privilege for me. My name is Chairman Chinje, and I want to give 21 gun salute, first of all, to our ARFs that are making sure that we completely restore our independence. I want to give you 21 gun salute this very moment from where we are. We want to salute you for the great things that you've done. We want to appreciate our mothers, our fathers, our brothers and sisters, our children that are going through this assault on our freedom. I want to salute you for staying strong, and we know that victory is around the corner. The day of celebration is coming. So I'm for Santa local government area. Santa local government area is right at the gateway into the northern zone. And we are very proud to be from Santa. Santa is one of the largest local government area in Mezam County at the moment. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to say we are ready to discuss how we can change and provide strong leadership that is based on moral and ethical values so that our nation can become a dream, an epitome in Africa. So thank you so much for having me. I yield over to you, Pastor Commando.
Thank you very much for that brief introduction there to you, uh, Pastor Eric from Santa LGA, the largest LGA in Savannah Zone. All right, then we'll have to go over to the next person on board. Please, I think. Okay, the comrade is of age, and he will introduce his LGA and introduce and greet the people on home front. So, comrade, I hand over to you. Go ahead and just greet the people of Ambazonia.
Fellow countrymen, ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Commando, I thank you plenty. I always like for start with Pidgin. So wonderful for get of and a great honor for come for such a great program. Having greeted you and Prince, I want to greet the people of Ambazonia, beginning with the men and women who have staked their life, the ultimate and the only thing, the last that you can offer for a nation. I want to thank every single person where it tuned in tonight. I want to thank again every single Ambazonia where it be steadfast to the cause ethically, and I want for talk say this, me I be comrade Philip Thala, now the chair for Bamendankwe. And Bamendankwe, as we know, when you come off of Santa, you just step straight into Bamendankwe. Bamendankwe, na that area where you go bear with me, they bear all the brunt of the colonizer. But even then, time where night come, moon dey shine, when day break, sun one shine, we go forget say moon be the shine for night. So Bamendankwe is the hub, the very hub of not just Mezam, is the hub of the whole of the present northern zone. So there we are, Bamendankwe, a very peculiar LGA with just a single village, and is deliberately done so by the colonizer for the reason that you and I can guess. Thank you again, Pastor Commando. Thank you, everybody. Prince, Monto, and Mezam. That's me.
That is very powerful over there. That's very powerful over there from Bamendankwe and Michati. That's powerful. Very good. All right. All of us will be Michati. Okay. Before we dive into this wonderful program that we have today, I just want the people of Ambazonia to just sit back a little bit, just sit back and then listen to this. This is powerful, and it's coming from Mezam, Mezam County, and this is to tell you that our roots are not left behind. Just relax and listen to this. Before
My career path is not conventional. Being a singer-songwriter, most people don't think that's going to be a steady job. So I found myself in a lot of difficult situations, and that's when I started thinking I really have to learn how to run a business, not just play good music. One of the most useful tools about WGU is you're not just...
I'm very sorry for that interruption over there. I don't know what is going on here. These people, are they jealous of us that they don't want us to get at home? No, they cannot be jealous to that extent. But Massa, give us chance. We'll enjoy ourselves before Mezam Group A come up with their
Clap again in advance, and I will turn out and make a low. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double I will set now. Set I will move for life now, and I will set now. Set I will move easy in advance. Double I will return out and make a low. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will set now. Set I will move for life now. Double I will set back now. Set I will move easy. In advance, double how we turn down and make a roll. 1, 2, 4. Conduct yourself. You move me forward, daddy. You move me forward, daddy. I like Martino, daddy. I like Martino, daddy. I like Martino, daddy. You move me forward, your daddy. You move me forward, your daddy. Daddy, 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 Ache we ito nini, Ache we ito nini, Tonga yeri nini, Ache we ifon nini, Fonga yeri nio, niwa o. Fonga yeri nio, daddy yo, daddy yo, daddy yo, daddy yo, daddy yo, daddy yo, daddy yo. Daddy yo, daddy yo, I go die yo. Daddy yo, daddy yo, I go die yo. Daddy yo, daddy yo, daddy yo. Daddy yo, daddy yo, I go die yo. And I will clap now. Double I will clap again in advance. Double I will return now and make a low. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double I will set now. Set I will move for life now. And I will set it back now. Set I will move easy in advance. Double I will return now and make a low. 1, 2, you move man before no daddy. And I will set now. Set I will move for life now. Double I will set it back now. Set I will move easy in advance. Double I will return now and make a low. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will set now. Set I will move for life now. And I will set it back now. Set I will move easy in advance. Double I will return now and make a low. 1, 2, 3. Conduct yourself.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you very much. Oh, my. Dadio, Dadio, Dadio. Wow, that brings us back to our memories of the past, and we are extremely very grateful for these memories that we can call back and remember our homeland. Yeah, we remember our homeland. Now, before we go ahead, I would like just to present to us my monologue. Before then, I would like to let our audience know that today we are looking at laying the foundation for an emerging ethical Mezam County, Group A, because Mezam is a very, very big and large county. We have divided it into Group A and Group B. So today we have Group A, which will comprise of um, um, Bali, no, not Bali, it's not there. We have Bamindankwe local government area and we have Santa local government area. Bali was supposed to be with us today, but we're just getting bits that they are not yet here. We hope that before they end, somebody should come in for the Bali LGA. And so we want to call on all the Ambazonian people who are listening to us to come in here and be taught at least some of the lessons that we need to learn when it comes to ethics for a developing county LGA by LGA, and today actually is MESA. Now, before we go ahead, I want to come in here with a monologue which says Ambazonia liberation movement is very unique compared to other revolutions in the world because of the institution of an ethics commission during wartime. We hardly have this, but we have instituted it. Our fathers had the foresight of the uphill battle we face to repair the destroyed moral fabric of Ambazonia in those days. What holds a nation together is its moral values. And of course, La Republic's invasion and occupation of Ambazonia has taken a moral toll on Ambazonians, making moralizing Ambazonia again a battle we must fight to win. The assault on our morality began when La Republic took out civics from our school curriculum and, of course, moral instructions. Some of you might not have had the opportunity to go through moral instructions when you were in school, but we did. Many of us did. And so the importance of ethics in a nation cannot be emphasized enough. This is the right time for ethics awareness, ethics campaigns in all tiers of government and communities in the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. It was Edmund Burke who said, "Liberty does not exist in the absence of morality." When people are immoral, and immoral this time around is not only in sexual immorality, as many people attribute immorality. Immoral here is actually meant to say that when corruption and other forms of ill governance are put in place. So Ethics for an Emerging Nation is an educational program to help you with the information and tools you need to moralize your communities. And that's why we are bringing in here chairpersons of LGAs and counties to come in here and talk to our people, talk to their people. I really much like what Comrade Philip did, that inserting something in the vernacular. I think if you take some time and then explain to the people in vernacular what we are saying here, both of you, if you can speak the language, that will be powerful. That will be wonderful. All right. And we have already discussed topics like templates, that forms for complaints. We have already talked about conflict resolutions, appeals and financial conflict of interest disclosure forms, All these forms are available with the Ethics Commission Office. We have talked about ethical leadership and its importance. We have already talked about guidelines for receiving and giving gifts by government employees. We've talked about misuse of position. We've talked about the role of the people in upholding ethical standards in the nation, the role of the church in moralizing the society, standard code of conduct for Ambazonians, business ethics, media ethics. You know, when we talk of media ethics, we mean that when you come to the media to talk something that is truth. Don't go and blow lies, you know, because one day you'll be caught up with the lies. Uh, Pastor Chinja, can you come a little bit to your left? We cannot see your face. We just see you one side. Okay, good. All right. Very good. Right. Thank you. So we have done all that. We have done ethics on sports and culture. We have done medical and public ethics. Ambazonians, we encourage you to watch those shows again, those teachings, those instructions on ABC, Amber TV Facebook page, and the YouTube, and use the information to moralize your communities and governments. If by next year our sovereignty is still not granted, which I believe will be granted, you will be to give an update on your ethics awareness campaign in your LGA or in your county. When we are done with ethics awareness in counties, we will continue with the rest of the departments like women's services, education, home, Department of Home and Home Services, DSS, and Departments of Foreign Affairs. Ambazonia shall be great again by God's grace and mercy. We will live fulfilling lives in our own nations. And to do that, ethics is the key. Yes, ethics is the key. And so, with that monologue, we will go straight ahead to cross over to Comrade Philip. We'll start with Comrade Philip. He'll just give us a brief rundown of how how ethics is going to be carried out in your LGA, what you are planning for the people of your LGA, and the kind of instructions you want your people in the LGA to have so that we can come out of the deception and come out from the brainwashing that we had with La Republique. And then when that is done, we can now cross over to Pastor Chinje, who will do the same for Santa LGA. For now, Comrade Philip, over to you.
Thank you very much indeed, Pastor Commando. And again, dear viewers, it is a privilege indeed to talk on this. Pastor, you just said something that pricked my heart, that when we are talking of the future, we are talking of fulfilling lives. And when we are talking of fulfilling lives, ethics is the key. When we talk that word ethics, I am sure in your program over and over, you must have digested it, you must have dissected it to your audience, what ethics is. What I would just summarize it here too. That's in two words. Ethics is basically a moral philosophy. Moral philosophy. So morals and ethics go hand in hand. And let me tell you, when you have an ethically vibrant society, lives in that society is going to be automatically fulfilling, because you will give to Tom what belongs to Tom and you give to Dick what belongs to Dick. So basically, ethics is the bedrock upon which every single society that hopes to thrive and thrive well should be constructed. Now, let us come back to Bamendankwe. The peculiar LGA, I usually put it, I usually say every time I have the opportunity to talk about Bamendankwe. Bamendankwe is that city upon the hill. And for one thing, I am glad that a city built upon the hill cannot be hidden. We might be hidden in the sense that you don't have recurrent action in Bamendankwe. We might be hidden in the sense that you don't have the colonizer who has implanted himself upon our people in our land. You don't have him come tumbling down the Ayaba Hill. But then we shine in one thing, in a series of things. I am going to just say we are talking of building a community of ethics. That's the baseline. The LGA is the very foundation, is the very basis. When we move from the family, we go now to our LGAs, and our LGAs are the very basis of the Ambazonian community. So now, when we build it strong there, invariably we are going to have a strong Ambazonia. And how do we do that? I am just going to use a little bit of elucidation from action so far in Bamendankwe, and then do a bit again of projection stemming from that, of how we can build a community based on ethics that will be prosperous, that will be conducive, that will be a haven and an envy for everyone to live in. Bamendankwe is one of these communities that is unfortunately the kernel right in the center of the fire. It's like an elephant in a groundnut farm. How you fit do Miss Elephant for inside groundnut farm? But even then, as much as we can and as we are doing, we ensure that we lay a foundation that is. Sometimes, let me digress a bit. Sometimes when I get into our national meetings, I say, why don't people, if we had the possibility, we could invite some people to come into the Bamendankwe LGA and see how we conduct our meetings. Respect for everybody in meetings. And that is why I was enthralled. I was thrilled. I was absolutely amazed at the town hall meeting of yesterday, when you had department come up and express their opinion, department comes up and express their opinion, and then we strike a ground without, how do we put it, pointing fingers at each other, altercations, as you have in other meetings. I just told myself, oh, that is notwithstanding the little, that's almost like Bamendankwe holding its meeting. Now, so when we come onto little things like that, us coming together, meeting, respecting each other, wonderful ethical part for every society to imbibe in. When we come onto issues like just simple timekeeping, when it was 1 minute after 10 for this program, I started getting a little bit agitated. That's how we are in Bamendankwe. We hold our meeting from this time to this time. We start at that time. We have our official meeting. So let us form a society that when we say it is 1 o'clock, it is 1 o'clock. the most one of the most annoying, if not the most annoying expression that I have had in my life is this thing of black man time. It bites me, it churns me in. Now, those are absolutely little things. There is one, and anyway, let us get this one stacked up without missing the train before we come back to that. We are talking of
Thank you.
how.
Okay.
Yes, Pastor.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, we are talking
enjoying
of
the ethics you are sharing with us.
building a society on ethical values. That is what it is. And when you talk of something being ethical, you are talking of something being done the right way, contrary to doing it the wrong way. Now, when we have a society in which we plan ahead, which is what we strive to do in the Bamendankwe LGA, we know that life is not usually the very best thing when it comes to you putting your plans into place. But the more you put inside in the planning, the less you will have the contingencies coming in. So then, planning ahead is one of the things that one of the ethical things that a society will actually build upon, and then having a common ground of understanding, having basic rules is what an ethical society is built upon. I don't want to go, I hate going back into history. What has the disgruntled people that have fallen out from the interim government of the Federal Republic of Amazonia. I hate going back to that. But when we are saying we are moving away from a failed system and we are putting in place a system of values, and then people render themselves valueless, that is going unethical, eyebrows begin to raise. Now, in the Bamendankwe LGA, I am dwelling on that. When it came to a certain point that the executive itself sat down and saw that it is actually shaky, they raised a motion in the House that we are standing down. The House decided to put in place an ad hoc committee to run the House for up to 6 weeks. And then they put in place a new committee that I happen to be at the helm of. That's what we call ethics. Stepping back, judging, evaluating, and then seeing how things go, and then readjusting. If you know, when you become Mr. Right all the time, a lot of wrongs come in. I think this is one of the takes that everyone should have home. If you become Mr. Right all the time, a lot of wrongs will take place. Now, again, when we create ourselves an Amazonian society of a reflective society, a society that reflects on the action, that evaluates what we have done, and then think of how we can search forth in a better way, invariably we are going to create a society that posterity will be proud of us. Now, we're just talking of LGA by LGA, county by county. I Once upon a time, I used to hear block by block, rooftop by rooftop, and I used to get thrilled by this philosophy. I used to get very excited. That was a philosophy. And then when it was brought into light, when it was brought into realization by LGA, county by county, my personal expectation, the little person that I am, was that, oh, people will jump onto it. This is it at last. Let us all get onto it ethically, and then we wrench our society from the hands of the invaders. That was just my expectation. I just thought people will say, wow, at last we've gotten there. Because it actually came into fruition, it came into realization. Again, back in the Bamenan society, uh, following let down principles. We've got the Amazonian Code of Ethics that is being circulated constantly uh, in our forum for people to actually, and Bob ever since, that's post the ASSC2 in
Mhm.
Washington, we have constantly being circulated, the new constitution constantly being circulated in our forum for people to familiarize themselves with it. And what we encourage is, comrades, what do you find wrong with this? Any concerns with this? We put it together. That's coming very recently, actually. If we go back, we had a very pertinent issue with cow theft in my LGA. It was becoming just unbearable. So what happened? A committee was set out to actually follow up this thing to the letter. We wrote right to the federal, through the county to the federal level for this thing to be taken care of. So you see, when you become ethical and you want things go the way they should be in the dispensation in which we find ourselves now, unfortunately, you are going to have a lot of stones being thrown at you because our minds have been constructed in a way that when by the colonizers, our minds have been constructed, thwarted, destroyed, distorted to decide that when you have the power, you have human life under your control. When you have the
Mhm.
money, you have human life under your control, notwithstanding the situation. But the Amazonian we're looking for, and as emulated by the few things that I have just cited here that we have carried out in my LGA,
And
actually
emulated by the few things
point
I have
us
just
to the
cited
direction
here
that
that
if we
by
look at
LGA.
ourselves as an emerging nation and we want to build solidly,
Emulated by point us
ethics
direction
or
that
ethical issues should be paramount. Pastor Commando, I think I can hear here, and we'll come back anytime you want me to. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade Philip. I think that the digesting and the digestion of what you are saying, we are beginning to realize that this issue of ethics that has been introduced even at this time of war is actually taking a toll on the Amazonian people. And that is really a thing of joy to hear. uh, from what you are saying, almost all the questions that I thought I was going to hammer on you have been answered. And anyway, for emphasis, we'll still get back into that questionnaire. Now we'll go over to Santa LGA, and we would like to hear from Santa. how the models they are putting in place to make sure that the ethics in for an emerging nation are in perspective. So over to you, Comrade Chinje Patrick. Is it Patrick?
Yes, yes, Prince Chinje.
Okay, Prince. All right. Okay. Thank
Thank
you
you,
very much.
Pastor Commando, and thank you to Comrade Miyaka, to Comrade Philip for that elaborate explanation on ethics and what Bamendankwe is doing in terms of ethics. That is that is to be applauded. I'm coming to you this evening. I know it's evening at the home front. I'm coming to you this evening to discuss this very, very important topic on ethics. You see, Santa local government area is at the gateway of the Midland Zone. And because we are at the gateway of the Midland Zone, we consider ourselves the gatekeeper. In a minute sense, to the Midland Zone, and the gatekeeper, in a big sense, to the Ambazonian nation. So what Santa, as both Santa definitely may influence the whole Midland Zone or influence the whole nation. Now, when it comes to ethics, I'm not going to define ethics. I just want to use maybe some synonyms. Inward moral compass for good behavior. Inward moral compass that guides you to do the right thing at the right time towards the right person at the right place. The inward moral compass that puts you on self-evaluation such that what you are doing, you can in turn ask yourself the question, if my child is seeing me, will I still do the same thing? 5 years down the line, will I still be doing the same thing? Will I still say the same thing? If this thing that I'm doing, if it's written in a book and generations after me come to read it, will I be celebrated or would I be stoned for my actions? Well, I'm going to begin by referring to Helen Keller. Helen Keller said, the world is moved not only by the mighty shows of heroes, but also the aggregate of the tiny pushes of each honest worker. You see, honesty is a fiber in ethics. You cannot have ethics without honesty. And Helen Keller, who was a blind champion, hero, or heroine, she underlined it and said it very succinctly that the honest worker should also be celebrated. You cannot build a great nation without honesty, without honest workers, people who are honest in carrying out their responsibilities. Either they're in the private sector or in the public sector, they should be, must be honest. And honesty, it comes with results. The only way that you're going to have honesty, proof that you are honest, is by your results. So ethics is not something that we're going to go and fetch down the road. Ethics is something that we need to do now. And let me pivot back to what Santa local government has been doing when it comes to ethics. Santa local government area put in place an ethics committee. And you know, Santa, we in Santa, just to be honest with you, Santa is, we are very, very proud, not in a wrong sense, but with confidence, because we understand who we are, we know where we are going to, and guess what? Santa put in place an ethics committee, and that ethics committee, the goal of that ethics committee is to lead in conflict resolution, in paving a way to create collaboration among our various cities or villages, whichever way you call it. Santa is huge. Santa is made up of about 15 villages. And some of these villages are big. Some of them, you can't call them villages. They are like big towns. You have Akum, you have Alatene, Babatu, Bafachu, Baligam, Bochi, Mefobe, Menka, Njong, Achu, Ntare, Pinyi. These are huge, big villages. Awing. These are big villages. We had to put in place an ethics committee. And our goal is to have a representative from each village, so that when there is an issue, when there is a misunderstanding, or when there is a program, a goal, an agenda, a project that needs to be accomplished, that we hear from the voices of those that are directly involved how we should be moving forward. And so that ethics committee was in place, has been in place. Due to the shaking that we had, the bump on the road that we had on the way to freedom, those things are normal. We are working on revamping that particular committee, but it has been in place. And it was headed by one of our sons in Santa. So I know you're going to ask me, how did Santa fare during the recent transition that we had, or during the recent bump that we had? Well, a Santa local government area, I would proudly say that Santa local government area boasts as one of the local government areas that don't only speak, they act.
Yeah.
And because of our actions, you can see the fingerprints of Santa on every draft. We come out and we support as if everything depends on that one draft. That is the spirit of Ambazonia. Santa embraces the spirit of Ambazonia, one for all for one. We believe very strongly that our nation is a united nation, full of diversity, but with one voice, one goal, especially during this time of war. When a few years back, on May 25th, Santa experienced the infamous Pinyin massacre, the whole of Ambazonia rallied to support Santa local government area. Santa has been very, very involved in diverse ways. I wouldn't want to enumerate everything that Santa has been involved in doing, because I'm just trying to paint a picture of where Santa is heading. When we had the constitutional crisis, Santa had an emergency General Assembly meeting, and those who were not honest, not truthful, were voted out unanimously to step down. And Santa threw its full weight behind the Constitution.
Wow.
Santa is strong because of who we are. And sometimes it's good to just break it down a little bit. You see, society, according to the experts that study society, they've indicated that society is made up of 7 spheres. You have family, religion, education, government, media, celebration, which is arts, entertainment, and sports, economics, which is business, science, and technology. So the vision for Santa local government area is to make sure that each of these spheres, beginning from the family all the way to the government, have embedded in them, immersed in them, ethical principles. These ethical principles is the core of every family, is the moral compass of every government. You know, we are not going to sit here and pretend that we are perfect. Oh no. Guess what? Evil company corrupts good manners. And if you've been in an evil company for 60 years, there's no way you can tell us, we can stand here and say that, oh, we don't have bad apples. Yes, I would let you know that Santa has some of the best in terms of leadership, in terms of hard work. Santa has some of the best, and you can see their fingerprints right through the cabinet and every part of Ambazonia. But we will let you know that there's some bad behaviors, some bad elements, some bad habits that we've borrowed, that came from our neighbors. They were not from our fathers, they were from our neighbors. And so that's why it's very important for Santa that we maintain and we put in place and we implement ethical principles. Not after the war, no, right now. A lot of people have read of the story of Singapore, how Singapore, from a third world country to a first world country within one generation. And guess what? The leader, the remnant leader that was instrumental in creating that transition and bringing about that big change, Lee Kuan Yew, he understood that in order to build a great nation, you don't begin by building a great nation, you begin by altering the value system. A lot of people, when they go to Singapore, they love it, they enjoy it. But guess what? It took somebody who had a vision, who was ready to be pragmatic and implement standard and ethical principles for that leader to transform a third world nation into a first world nation. Santa local government area strongly believes that Ambazonia is already free. And because Ambazonia is free, Ambazonia should, can, will become a hub of standards and virtues in Africa. And that can only happen when we begin from the village, from the family, to the local government area, to the zone, to the county, to the zones, to implement standard and ethical principles. So, what are some of the standard principles that Santa is looking for to implement? I must remind us that Santa is the hub for coffee. Santa is a hub for agriculture. Talk about tomatoes and carrots and cabbages, and the list goes on. Santa Knights, like we call ourselves, they have in them the strong work ethic. And guess what? we cannot build a successful local government area, a successful nation without a strong work ethic. And so our vision is to make sure that we don't just produce raw materials, but we are able to develop those raw materials into finished products right in Santa. This is the vision of the local government area we're envisioning. We are looking
Wow.
at establishing a local government area that will be able to transform its local produce, that will be able to, like Pastor Commando said, moral education. Fortunately, I was part of those who took moral education in those days in government high school. It was government high school Santa at the time, not government Bilinga high school later on. I took moral education, and guess what? We want to instill that moral education right from the family, that Santa should continue to maintain a strong work ethic, take action. Those are ethical principles. Those are values that build a nation. Be proactive. And that's why we are challenging those who are still on the sidelines, waiting that we come with a trophy, that join in. We are the winning team. The local government area, the interim government under the leadership of Dr. Samuel Ikomesako is the winning team. You can just look behind the past 5 years and see the accomplishment that has taken place. Don't be the loser. Don't be on the losing side. Don't stand on the fence. Don't be double-minded. Santa is a place of diversity. We celebrate diversity of opinions, but guess what? There's one constitution, and that's the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. So we need to get rid of the bad habits that we came up with, that we picked along the way as we were going to school in SWA and in all those other places. And we need to drop off those bad habits, those corruptible behaviors, and learn to inculcate moral principles that will build a strong nation that we all desire, that our kids would desire. It's Barack Obama who said, Africa doesn't need strong men. Africa needs strong institutions. And I'd like to remind us that strong institutions come from strong ethical principles. I may not be the chairman of Santa local government tomorrow, but guess what? Santa is going to still remain strong because we are building institutions. We're not building strong men. So with that, I have a lot more to say, but I think I should yield. Pastor Commando, I think I answered maybe all of your questions. If not, you can let me know which one I didn't answer. Yes, so I want to give 21 guns.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
People on the whole front. Thank you.
Yes, that is really, 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 encouraging us and going ahead to actually tell us that it was not a wrong thing to put ethics for an emerging LGA at this time when we are still fighting. We are grateful that some of these moral laws and moral teachings that you people are already practicing, of which many Ambazonians, because of what as the chairman has already mentioned, when they went to SWA and they SWA for day with morals were SWA. So those things were imported into Ambazonia. And one of the things that greatly interests me in the plans that your LGA has for Ambazonia is to make sure that the produce, which is locally done there, and this goes the same with Bamindankwe, Pinyin, all those other people, you have a plan to, produce them, process them to finished products so that they can be consumed all over Ambazonia. That is very, very interesting and very powerful. And of course, as we have all heard, there is no way a nation will emerge without these moral values. And even though they have answered all the questions in their discussions, but just for record purposes, I will still want to call the attention of the Santa people and ask them these few questions. Not only Santa, but the whole of Mezam County Group A. Do you have an ethics committee in the LGA or in your county? You have already answered that, but so I would just want a positive, a confirmation from both of you. Yes, so we know that that one is trash because Comrade Philip emphatically said it and actually said that they distributed, this. Okay, that's the second question. Okay, for now, do you have an ethics committee in your LGA, in your county? The answer is what?
The answer is if you can hear me, Pastor.
Yes, we're getting you. I'm getting you 5 on 5.
All right. Okay, that's brilliant. Yes, we definitely have an ethic committee in the Bamendankwe LG. Interesting enough, before it was actually formalized in
Right.
the Federal Republic,
Yeah.
due to the various issues that were coming up in Bamendankwe, we thought we
Mhm.
should put up a group of people,
Yeah,
a
you have
committee.
emphasized.
We called it an ad hoc committee
Yes.
to actually issues and advise us. So we put together a group of elders, which eventually evolved with some tweaking into an
Yeah.
ethics committee. So yes, we do have an ethics committee.
Okay, thank you very much. That's repetition, which is meant for emphasis. I so love that. I so love that. You have said it in your discussion and your explanation to the people of Ambazonia, and this repetition. Yes, the people of Bamindankwe had put up an ad hoc committee, which is very ethical to start solving the problems before the federal government came up with its written document. It was already being practiced in Bamendankwe. That's powerful. Okay. Yes, Santa, you have already said it all, but I just want an affirmative from you. Yes, there is an ethics committee in the LGA, right?
Yes, Pastor Commando, we have an ethics committee. We had it before the constitutional crisis that we had, which was made up of the representatives from each village in Santa. We had that committee. Some of the members of
Yeah.
that committee have abandoned their duties, but that committee is in place and we are working on revamping
Wow.
it.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Do you know if your ethics representative has joined the Extended Ethics Commission Forum? Do you know any of your ethics representative who, whether he or she has joined the Ethics Extended Forum? Because there is an Extended Ethics Forum that discusses every Tuesday some ethical things that are to be shared and that are being put in place. Do you have a member? Each of you, do you have any member in that committee, in that
We
forum?
do not have any member. We do not have any member at the moment in that
Okay.
extended ethics committee. Yes, but we are
We
going
What about
to.
you, Comrade Philip? Okay.
no,
Sorry. Go ahead.
we do have a member.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, Chairman, I interrupted when you were still talking.
No, that's fine. I was just explaining that we are
Okay.
revamping, and once we revamp, we're going to be um, sending our member to that, sending our
Forum.
representative. Yes,
Mhm.
who is going to be the chair of our ethics commission to that forum? Yes.
Okay. Good. Now, the next question is: do you have a copy of the Ambazonian Ethics Code, Comrade Philip?
Oh yeah. Well,
Okay.
thank you, Pastor Commando. We do have it, and when there is one little say in my area of work, they say, if it's not written, it's not done.
Mhm.
So if we do not have that code of ethics, that means we are not ethical, even though we intuitively we're working on a very ethical basis. We now do have the ethical code. It is circulated over and over in our forum, just
You did say,
vertically, which is a very nice thing.
you did say so. You did say so in your this thing. We are not asking this because again it's for emphasis, so that people
The-
should know that the Bamindakwe LGA and Santa LGA are not strangers to our plan and to our ethical growth for an emerging nation. Then the final question I would like to ask is, do you have a copy of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia in your LGA? Yeah, comrade.
Oh,
Let me go.
Yeah, Ginger. Yeah, go ahead, Prince.
Let me answer that. For the code of ethics, I am filling in, so I don't know if my former ethics chair had a copy of the code of ethics. So I can attest to that.
Okay.
But for the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, yes, we do. We do have a copy, and we've deliberated over it. We took our decisions when we were having the constitutional crisis. We took our decisions as a local government area based on deliberations and based on information and standards and principles sections that came out of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Yes.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, you mentioned 7 clans that you guys have in Santa. Wow, that is big. You know, that is big. Anyway, that's Ambazonia, and we are well able to handle all the issues that are coming out there. Then, Comrade Philip, the Constitution of the Federal Republic, you have already answered. Do I hear a word from you again? If it's going to be repetition, that would be fine.
yes, I did, Pastor. I did say we do have a copy of the Constitution as
Okay.
amended in
Yeah, as
Washington.
amended. Yeah.
I think, as I said, for any society to be ethical, there are basic rules to be followed. Uh, though we talk of morale, and though we have, should I say, religious setups come round and talk to us about morals, innately in every constituted community, in any constituted society, their code of conduct, which is their constitution, is the very basis upon which they should rely. Yes, we do have it, and it's being circulated again over and over. We just make it a habit, just to tell ourselves that we still there, Kamkwe.
All right. Thank you very much for coming to ABC to talk about your LGA on ethics for emerging Santa and ethics for an emerging Bamendankwe. I would want to crave your indulgence to say your last words, and don't forget to say something to your people in the vernacular concerning the present issue that is going on, how Ambazonia is standing strong, and the president of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, Dr. Samuel, is standing tall and meaning business for us to get down to Boya. So I'll start with you, Prince. Go ahead and say something to the Santa people and to the Ambazonian people. Concluding statements. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Commando, again. I want to talk for my people there for Santa. You say we for Santa will get plenty different country talk them, so I'll just
Yeah.
talk for Pidgin.
Right.
So I want give a 21 gun salute, especially for people there for home front. I want thank una. Una know say this revolution who the fight so they don't come break for the revolution. The reason why I the talk say they can break na because they see the kind fight where we dey face am for social media, for international circles, even on the home front. But we want encourage una say make una no give up. Take courage. No say we dey for here for support una 1000%. And if you be young man, you be young woman, we want encourage you say wetin say the fight na all we will fight. If you dey for bush as you dey hear we voice, if you dey for even for quarter wey be ARF, you know yourself. One time make you know say we dey pray for you, say make you stand strong, say make those bad people dem make dem not see you. We dey build, we no dey build na some small quarter. No, we dey build na a nation, a country, and we'll be proud for call ourselves to be Ambazonians. One thing we want to make all we understand na say, we dey talk about ethics. One very important thing for ethics na patriotism. I say make all we know say we be one country. We people the way we not choose ourselves for belong to this country. God, like we dey talk say na God ordained struggle. God choose we, release we for inside the country. And so with time for become a nation among the nations of the earth don't reach. But you know say nation, no nation, they need to pick and give. You give a take back. And we le Ambazonia, Southern Cameroons, will not be a new nation. We don't be. We just restore our nation. We don't get a government. We don't just restore our government. And that government, our government, we do under the leadership of Dr. Ikome Sako, Samuel Ikome Sako. He don't do a great job with the vice president, Mr. Eric, when our own brother from Santa, His Excellency Eric Ate. Now the strong pillar then that way we get them. And many other people there they come out Santa, like my patients Abiedu. I want to make we understand. Say we for Santa, we the 1000% behind the interim government under the leadership of Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako. Now part of ethical principles that should be people of truth who abide by the constitution, will not be corrupt people then, will not people there who the thief. Some people that there among where they don't decide for join the camp for people that the thief. Well, they get their own pay. And that pay will be short-lived. They think say they enjoy, but it will be short-lived. Now just so society day. If you follow truth, you go stand strong and you go stay for long. But if you the bend, you follow lie, you go crumble. You go be exposed. So one time for encourage every single person who mami them, who papa them, who know so I don't go through a lot for these 5 years. One time so I know say this fight they can't finish. And because they can't finish, one encourage una. Say me go throw away bad habit them way we don't pick up for the Republic. And make we embrace those good habits the way we great grandpapa them they begin with. So we people, we one people, we united people. We people they will work hard. People they will make sure say if something now we must take them. So we will not leave another person me take over our country. And that the politician the way they still wine and dine with the enemy them. Make we no say now number one enemy that. I want them to encourage all man for home front. Right for from Ning all the way to Awing. From Njong all the way to Baligam. One time we're gonna know say we for diaspora, we would support on 1000%. And any person way either for diaspora, we come up for Santa. I want them for make an appeal to you. Say make you not shoot on the sideline. Yeah, if you support like anonymous, you be welcome. Not just shoot on the sideline because the books then go be open. We talk about ethics. If some person support, and then you not support, you just say they go treat you the same way like the treat person. He take the time for support, he get the financial, he put the financial pocket for support this, he be financially vested for the revolution, you know, go work so. So we'll talk about ethics, we'll talk about law, we'll talk about truth, we'll talk about justice. So make all we for diaspora, we'll come up from Santa, with the born for Santa. We be Santa Pekin, whether you married for Santa or you come out for Santa, you go marry for different side. No say you be Santa. Would they appeal for you, say, make you join the revolution 1000% under this interim government, the side of truth. Would they just take back our nation? And if you don't see, sign them on the show. When rain one fall, you see I place the start dark, Nimbus cloud they come out. If you see already say Nimbus cloud for the revolution, don't they come out, victory don't they come. So you don't need to wait again. If you be the way you say with the dream na dream, no say that dream don't turn na true na reality. No make a may day break it for aside, you be confused. I dey give you this one like appeal, say make you join the winning side. Thank you so much for this time. I yield over to you, Pastor Commando.
Thank you very much for that concluding statement there, Prince. I can see the Santa people here clapping and sending messages and saying, wow, that is our chair, that is our man. All right. And I think action speaks louder than words. An average has concluded and has agreed with everything you have said, because Santa is not only in word, Santa is also in action. And that is what we have seen throughout the draft periods. Over to you, Comrade Philip, your concluding words. And I know that Bamindankwe speaks just one language, if I'm not mistaken. And you go ahead and shout it out to the people. All right, over to you. Comrade Peter, are you there? I mean, Philip, are you there? Oh, I'm sure he's frozen. Oh, Comrade Philip is frozen. All right, Comrade Philip, if you can go out and sign in and meet us, that will be fine. But I think our time is gone. Let me see if Comrade Peter can go out. I mean, Philip can go out and come back in. Meanwhile, you relax and listen to this beautiful music. I should think that this is Bamindankwe music, if I'm not mistaken. But Comrade, go out and come back in. All right. Let's
double our set now, set away for life now, and our set away for in advance, double our return now, and make a low, and our set away for life now, double our set back now, set away for in advance, double our return now, and make a low, conduct yourself.
You move me forward, daddy. You move me forward, daddy. I like Martino, daddy. I like Martino, daddy. I like Martino, daddy. You move me forward, daddy. You move me forward, daddy. Daddy, 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 Ache we ito nini, Ache we ito nini, Tonga yeri nini, Ache we ifon nini. Fonga yeri no niwa o, fonga yeri no daddy yo, daddy yo, daddy yo, daddy yo, daddy yo, daddy yo, daddy yo. Daddy.
Thank you very much, Bamindankwe. Thank you very much, Santa LGA. The people of Ambazonia have heard you today, and we are looking forward to having you come back on the studios here to talk to our people. And I believe that many people all over have listened to you. Last week, it was a very powerful time with the KMC, and today we have had a very powerful time with Santa, meaning that the people of the southern Cameroon's Ambazonia are picking up what their forefathers fought for to make sure that we go back to where we were, to our roots. All right, I think Comrade Philip is back. I will just listen to his final word. I will call it quit for today. Comrade Philip, welcome.
Oh, I am so sorry, dear viewers. No fault of mine. You know how these things are.
Right.
Well, Bamendankwe is a very cosmopolitan area, and I understand even riding with John Quata, picking now they talk country talk again. They talk now pidgin or so I will talk for pidgin and then I not fit forget for talk for country talk where I will start with them.
Okay.
Manda abu ita linji mo wora sunambo bonga bo ma ango ondeng bon yi ya chonshie bongo banga oninga kuyu oning na br ukaka kuyu chwa ozi na brija gaf kwa bong bina zi na brija jinga kuyu na ngwa menyutai chia kaba nyuba babu gangwen kaba nyuba bo gangara ke jie tera bo jina bo nda ke fo bo jina momenting bo ga bina dui di ete bongo bina tuwo ku tuwo fo nan ku re te ku chi chong na bina bu fu fo ma mun ra bina dui no lung dui ra belamba betaba be mngaba bu muwi abu nge etore juo fo ku chi chong na labu ba sunga ba jira ba je ka fuba fa ba wu bu chia au jedi ra fu no jedi au gana wa fo ku uchi chongna la nyura wu kana to no ra fo ku ambu wu mate no ko ni nga bawo abina bu cham sung fu sanga to ro bina jingare to wanchara jingare sung wen ko onyo abina gang wina quarantine wina bo tung kibu te gwonchu la rala bo tung kibu gwonchu la rala lef uchi chongna la a nyura bina kana tukuna ura ati na kukma bena abu witinga babu so amu ma'ana dro atata bina la bina yandung ran dinkangwe ta Samuel e kome sako la tingnu aba mo wo la yenu ku ma dra amu manywe yong nung ganga gwonyu bgo fa yana labu ning nu bitin inu bina bombina bata fu mum abina duino re chichong no abina kwarnu yana tingen jam din kangwa meten winga emo jinga bina ku meta ku tingen ga bina ma people them for bam dan sabi say even for bujon kwata picking them be where even country talk say they're not here even for anka picking them be where they're not here country talk I will say be
Okay.
careful because that time for come out for the dog don't reach now. So may we tie with belt, come out for inside all because If we not make we country clean as it's supposed to be clean, we no go come out. Thank you plenty, and we know what side way we come out, we know what side way we dey go, be led by we leader, Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako. Thank you plenty, make una day fine. Me ya warm go.
All right, me ya won't do. Ladies and gentlemen, it's at this juncture that we come to the end of this ethics for the LGA of Bamendankwe and Santa, and somebody who is by the seaside or by the riverside, so no fit enter a eye. So if I know if go and also talk some small thing. So I want to talk for the people of Fungom LGA, Mincham County. Say it is so, we don't wake up, we don't turn up strong. No matter the wind way they blow, when I know say we dey kankwe, God he don't give way his servant, President Sako, where he don't turn up. He do everything for demonstrate. But you know say wicked people them, and people the way they want to give a good dog a bad name for hangam. Now so that they always be in the society. One for talk say they shaking away shake and so now because the spiritual cabinet where I be a member, they wake up, they talk, say, Papa God, we no go agree. You don't give with this with country, we go with them. And then people where they come up for La Republic and they shout past the people the way they come on now for God's side. But action, they talk more than words. Man kan se besi la na resi gwi tanya fine. Besi zina ego je jinzi la bena President Sako mo office men wen aga kan. Resi kan se besi zina gala rima besi men go the Conway na gala gel sindwa agboya ne liaga kasi ko na yamandi. So resi ge fine se besi zina resi tell man bena ago gang with tea. Gasa penfa ni se tan se gai ga man ga kum ga fungoma na President Sako even du tiame apia na kanga na ka vai ge tin se na pin di wo ke be kin ase e wa ma kan sin jeres do fo se gamza zina kanaba re ba fusa ne fa mana tin chong akon ba se ne da ikushia jere sin du ne gbeya ne jere na flatan ne gamza da fe yamandi a kin se pisa ina wo be ton ton ni President Sako even du tiame apia na getin ba inte kan e ma anje ande vje res peton vje rene pina ana curie ban se za kan dun jifuma a woni fe ni wo ma pa kan se gai tap mengai tina pa geze na ni anai izate wotini wu chongo o kina ni wu chongo ne ba so la wu su wona wotini wu chongo la skan se pisa ina zone kanki kanje tsa bande ndu ai ko se mo azza chung ga panje fa ande njung atong ABC Amba TV. I fit no wakang very one not a famazuni. If a friend of Penny, one the game Ozzy, Zone Kanke, I found a chung as you for posse, gas near come. Thank you very much, and God bless the people of Bamindankwe, and especially for giving me this opportunity to also wash my hands before we call it quit. So thank you, and bye-bye to everyone who has been watching and who has been in this program. God bless all of you. Bye.
Thank you very much indeed, Pastor. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor Commando. Thank you, Comrade